Hi there, LinkedIn family. Jonathan here from Some Talented People. So I've been talking a little bit about expectations and other things previously, and what I thought I would do is try to explain to you about how I sculpt my reality. There are many things happening in the world that are extremely just awful in many ways. People losing their businesses, losing their lives, in mental depression, all this sort of things. There's a lot of things that you can focus on and be pretty afraid and in all sorts of financial worry. So I don't for a second suggest that this is a solution to that. The truth is this, however: what you believe to be true is then true for you, because wherever you look, listen, or feel, evidence to support your belief is found. And you go, aha, you see, it's true. And that's fine, because I've got no argument with your beliefs. You believe what you want to believe, frankly. The reason I'm telling you about my beliefs is because I consciously go, it was out of my way at first, but I state in a mantra type format my beliefs on a daily basis. And the reason for doing it is this: all day, every day, from every single avenue, you can't get away from it. Bloody chirping this and Facebook's that and news all the time. Everyone is trying to, they call it gain your attention or keep your engagement. But basically what it is they want to dominate your mind. They want to dominate your thoughts, and they want to make you emotionally react to things in a way that you lose control of the most important faculty, your head. Because if you are out of control in your mind, everything in the world will appear that way too. And consequently, and this happens a lot, people become literally paralyzed by the fear that they're in, not knowing what to do. And it becomes a survival mechanism. So if you've watched my videos before, I've had a few life instances which I think make it easier to adopt this belief system, but I'll tell you about each of them as I go. So my first of 5 beliefs is this: equality. In every single sphere. This whole nonsense in every conceivable incarnation of sexism and the patriarchy offends me very, very, very much indeed, as does homophobia and other forms of discrimination. Screw you, let live, basically. Next belief is free will. Now, I don't call choosing something from a search engine that's designed and looks at your patterns and promotes a certain item to you to be free will. I'll do a post on Google next week probably, but Google only indexes 4% of the pages on the internet, so it's not even representative. In fact, it's less than nothing, but it looks like everything. So free will is a belief that, to my mind, one could only exercise once one has looked at, if not all, a lot of the different variables. Because, and when I say variables, I don't mean versions of the same thing. I mean ways to achieve the mental state that you are looking for. So free will is free will with a brain that's informed and creative and explorative enough to go looking for things that aren't shoved in their face. Third belief is stolen from The Wrath of Khan. The scene for the original one, guys, Spock is in the radiation chamber in the Enterprise, and he says, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. There's a film called Pay It Forward, which is a phrase which is quite often used. You should watch the film. It's a very good film. But my perspective on life is this: I'm only one. Therefore, if you're two or more, your needs outweigh mine. And I apply this belief in the way that I conduct myself in the world. So if I'm driving and it's a bus or a car with 3 people in, I'll let them out. If there's a group who need to get through a door, everyone's trying to avoid COVID at the moment, I'll hold the door open. All I'm doing is I am living my beliefs rather than just intellectually conceiving of them. 4th belief is stolen from Kung Fu Panda, which is incredibly profound. And it's the scene where Po is sitting under the peach tree. Oogway, the turtle, comes up, and Po's talking about leaving and quitting. And he says, there's an old saying, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Now, that phrase from a child's cartoon is also backed up in the book The Power of Now, where it's pointed out that things that have not yet happened that cause you stress in your mind are as a result of your thinking choices, and things that have already happened that you are ruminating on many years after they've happened is also a choice of thinking. It doesn't feel like a choice, I grant you, but when you appreciate the now, today, then your entire experience of being changes. So there's if you do, I'll tell you what's a good thing to do actually, do a search on how likely is it that I exist, because there's some huge mathematical number that basically says for any of us to even be here is a miracle. And once you start looking at life like that, because I mean, like, let's face it, if you look at this on a computer, you're not as bad as someone living on the street at the moment. So there's a lot to be grateful for, and today's a gift. If you've got your health, it's a gift. So that's 4. And my 5th belief is this, that children are spectacular. I see it all the time. Indeed, I've written a book about it, but I really don't recommend you read it, because it is, I read through it again for another edit, full of abuse and bad language. But hey, you know, it's a belief system. So the thing about my beliefs is this, as I say, I do not see them necessarily reflected out in the society from other people. What I do is I change the filters that I observe the world through my 5 beliefs. So I change my behavior, I help others, I help the masses rather than the others. I take gratitude and thanks in the day for today, and I see spectacular genius level thinking in children all the time. So that's my beliefs. I use them to make my reality the way I'd like it. Takes practice, but it can be done. Maybe speak to a coach if you want to do this. All right, take care. I'll see you again.